Before we get into trivia, it's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150. Two more teams have clinched playoff berths in the Rangers and the Leafs after Monday night's action. And elsewhere in the league, those races are really getting down to the wire. Out west in the Pacific Division, absolutely no change here. Not much to add from last week. Vegas, LA, and Edmonton are holding on to the 1, 2, and 3 spots with the Kraken in 4th and the Flames in 5th. Through each of their last 10, Vegas is 8-2-0, the Kings are 8-0-2, and the Oilers are 8-1-1. Now that we're down to the wire, the top 3 in the Pacific are here to play. In the Central Division, as we predicted, the Wild have taken that number 1 spot. The Avs are in 2nd, and the Stars have moved from 1st to 3rd in the span of a week. The Wild are 7-1-2 through their last 10, but their schedule has been exceptionally weak of late, so take that into account when you're filling out those playoff brackets. Colorado's also on a tear, putting up 9 wins through their last 10 tries, but much like the Wild, their schedule has been very weak through their last 10, with the exception of one quality win against the Leafs. Finally, Winnipeg continues to slide, and they're still barely holding on to that second wildcard spot in the West, sitting 4 points ahead of the Flames with an equal number of games played. Back east in the Atlantic Division, Boston and Toronto have both clinched playoff berths, while Tampa continues to struggle. They're riding a 4-game losing streak heading into a tough tilt against the Canes Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Good news for Toronto fans out there is the Lightning are finally decrepit enough on the defensive end for the Leafs to maybe make it out of the first round this year, so we'll have to see. After playing themselves into that final wildcard spot last week, the Panthers have lost 4 straight, surrendering it back to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pens are 3 points up on them with a game in hand, so things aren't looking good for Florida at the moment. Florida also has an incredibly tough schedule through the duration of the season, so they're really going to have to put on their A game and make it happen as the playoffs approach. Finally, in the Metro Division, the Canes, Devils, and Rangers have all clinched their playoff berths, and we're just waiting to see how the standings shake out so we can start breaking down those first-round matchups. Canes are missing a consistent goal scorer up front, and scoring by committee is a very difficult way to make it far in the playoffs, especially when you don't have the situation between the pipes shored up. They're still riding that 3-headed monster back there. The Devils are young, a bit experienced, to put it simply, and teams have really figured out how to beat them. They're a very fast team, but if you can slow down the game and control the pace of play, the Devils are not as difficult to play against. On the other hand, the Rangers look like they're really starting to find some balance up front. They got the kid line going, and those big talents they brought in at the trade deadline are really starting to get some synergy, so I would not want to play them. Finally, the Islanders are also playing lights-out hockey of late. Bit scary with Barzal out of the lineup and slated for a potential return at the start of the playoffs, so I would not want to play the Islanders in that first round. Got some great games coming up for the boys in blue this week. First, we got a preview of a potential first-round matchup Thursday night against the Devils, followed by a quick ride to Buffalo for the Sabres on Saturday. And finally, we got the Capitals on Tuesday night. Lots of exciting hockey elsewhere in the league, so stay tuned for more updates next week. This has been your 150.